why you'll be forced to build a creator business in 2024 and beyond, plus what it means and how to go about doing it. This is for you if you are a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, and you want to scale past 10, 50, 100k plus per month in a scale-agnostic manner, without having to beg people for money, chase new clients every month, sell your soul, or even worry if you'll be in business the next quarter. This is not for you if you are happy with where you are and don't want to scale, hate the thought of impacting more people with your product or service, and you lack the ability to do hard things. If the last three apply to you, you should click off and watch something else. Great, let's dive in. No offer is a special cookie anymore. Market sophistication is increasing, and it's increasing at a faster and faster rate. There is very little room for differentiation with your front-end offer, and even that is shrinking fast. The market evolves two main sort of superficial layers of differentiation: bigger and bigger guarantees and price fighting. Bigger guarantees just become sillier and sillier. X number of calls booked into your calendar every month or you don't pay. X amount of money per month in 90 days or you don't pay. Everyone's dread for mercy. The guarantees are getting so big and so stupid that they're impossible to fulfill, realistically speaking. And if you really were the kind of person capable of fulfilling such guarantees, you wouldn't have a scaling or acquisition problem to begin with. And then there's price fighting. You have to realize that when the only dimension of competition is lowering prices, you're in trouble. Prospects will inevitably price shop, and there will be poor margins, if any, which will lead to you suffering from an inability to afford quality talent, leading to bad fulfillment, which in turn leads to poor word of mouth, making it even harder for you to get your next clients. You will become a commodity and be stuck in a downward spiral to commoditized, low-margin fulfillment hell. So, how do you go about getting new clients and then charging each client more? Because those are the only two ways, essentially, to scale and make more money. You either get more clients or make each client worth more, ideally both. But you have to get the clients first. So how do you go about doing that if this is the current state of the market? This is household knowledge at this point, but just to go over it briefly, there are only 4 ways to get new clients: cold outreach, paid ads, referrals, or content. Cold outreach is when you're reaching out to strangers one at a time. Paid ads, you pay an algorithm to reach out to strangers on your behalf at scale. With referrals, existing clients slowly give you leads, but you need those clients first, which is the problem we're stuck with. And content, we'll get to that in a minute. But what's wrong with them then? Well, with cold outreach, where you're reaching out to strangers one at a time, it needs scale. It's essentially a numbers game, and volume, and only volume, will negate your luck. And this has become automated through software, packages like Instantly and so on and so forth, very commoditized tools, which essentially reduce down to a monthly expense. And because of software, this fundamentally increases ease and accessibility. And this is a fundamental principle that I want you to drive into your head. If it can easily be done, it will be done. And this has become the case with cold outreach, like cold emails and cold DMs. The same lead base is used by every one of your competitors. Each prospect gets the same offer, the same copy, the same pitch every single day, thousands of times. So it's no wonder that you're getting ignored, you're getting told to F off. And if somehow you do manage to get a prospect on the call with you, there is no previous relationship, you're a complete stranger who barged into their DMs or their inbox, shoving your offer down their throat. And if you're starting out, you essentially have no proof of competence. The prospect comes from with very high sales resistance. There is a fundamental problem of a lack of authority and status delta on your behalf, because you are the one reaching out to them, not them reaching out to you. You will always be seen as needing them more than they need you, which gives them more leverage over you in the sales process, which is exactly the opposite of what we want. You will be faced with tons of objections that have not been pre-handled. Again, you just barged into their DMs or inbox. And the calls, the sales calls, the demo calls, the discovery calls are essentially spent tackling objections. They're hard to close, very hard to close, and even harder to scale the sales process effortlessly. Now, even if you do manage to close, the prospect is more often than not of a very poor quality. They become poor quality clients because they're rarely well qualified. It's just the nature of the cold outreach acquisition channel. They have leverage and authority over you in the client-provider relationship. This leads often to a high degree of micromanagement, low prices, difficult to fulfill, landing you back in service fulfillment hell, which is what we want to avoid. And you're reaching out to people who've seen the exact same offer and copy as you 1,000+ times that day, and either they've already decided to buy from one of them who's reached their inbox before you, in which case they're no longer qualified to begin with, or they've already decided not to buy from them. And so they have no reason to buy from you either, because you're just another stranger identical to the thousands of others before you. There is no differentiation. Good luck scaling peacefully and profitably with just cold outreach, and good luck with the poor quality clients that it gives you, if any. And there's paid ads, where you pay an algorithm to reach out to strangers at scale. But you're paying, and chances are you're not world-class at ads yet, especially if you're just starting out. Ads is very difficult to master. And if you were world-class, if you were really good, everyone would know you already and you wouldn't be watching this video to begin with. And because you're not that good with ads yet, you have not yet fully internalized the reality and the mechanics of how exactly the ad copy and creative create the audience or the pool of strangers that your offer gets shown to. This is incredibly crucial. And you're not good at targeting by yourself either manually. So your ads suck, your ad performance sucks. And if you have a lot of cash to burn figuring out ads before you even see the returns you want, that's fine. But even then, the same problem with each individual person who sees your ad persists as with cold outreach. You're just a stranger barging into their feed, shoving your offer down their throat, begging them for money in exchange for a product or service that they don't even know they want or need, or that they even want it from you specifically, because you have not yet sufficiently educated them on your offer and on you. The same negative spiral and hell follows, except this time with paid ads alone. When you're leveraging paid ads alone, you're burning significantly more cash in the process. Then there's referrals, where existing clients slowly refer new business to you, but you need those clients first. That's an obvious problem. While referrals can get you some of the best clients with built-in trust, they're some of the best clients you'll ever get. You need to already have gotten clients and delivered solid results to them in order to avail this. And even if you do get referrals coming in, no business can scale predictably on referrals alone, because you do not and cannot control when a client will refer someone to you, at what rate this process will unfold, and who exactly it is that they will refer to you. And this process, naturally, is extremely slow, because people move slow, and people trying to move other people move even slower. So if you're someone comfortable with leaving the scale and growth of your business and your profits to chance alone by relying on referrals alone, then predictable and profitable scaling is just not for you. So what is the perfect inversion? The opposite of all of the problems just outlined. What is a perfect virtuous cycle of client acquisition that you can control? What about an ideal magical method of client acquisition and scaling that? And I know you know where I'm going with this, but just bear with me. That allows you to sell one-to-many at scale in parallel, not just one at a time, is free, and if done right, you even get paid to do it, and leads to profitability and net negative CAC. It compounds over time, unlike all of the other methods, gives you near infinite leverage and sells for you 24/7 in an evergreen manner, allows you to attract the best quality clients to you, who already trust you, see you as an authority, and have all of their objections handled. They're warmed up, pre-sold, ready to close, and referring you business generously. And they also allow you to charge higher prices and premium margins. Of course, I know you know where I was going with this, but it's content. Content done right is the closest there is to this perfect ideal. Content that is done right with the intention to educate, not sell. The problem with cold outreach and paid ads is they trigger sales resistance in people because they know that they're being sold to. And we hate being sold to, but we love being educated. Content done right, fits in the missing link in the chain and gives you near infinite leverage when it comes to client acquisition. Because instead of impatiently jumping from attention to offer, as you would do with cold outreach and paid ads, and then struggling to close, you are educating your prospect on your offer and why they should buy from you specifically. When you leverage content in the core of your client acquisition system, it strengthens all the other channels as well, because the point here isn't just to rely on content alone. No, it's just content boosts everything else exponentially. Your outreach, your paid ads, your referrals, everything else. They can be built on top of this fertile basin of content that you build out. And when you leverage content in the core of your client acquisition system, you become what is called a creator business. That is, you become a business that is instantly differentiated from everyone else. You are more of an authority. You have higher trust. You are able to leverage trends, and you have intrinsic flexibility. You're more anti-fragile because you are trend sensitive. You can adapt very quickly to changes in market trends and demands. And you attract the best clients and charge premium prices. And you can just, because of the above mentioned points, you can sell any other offer, not just the one you have now. So you're not boxed into this specific time and place and market situation, because content gives you intrinsic flexibility. The audience that you build out can be sold into any other offer in the future, not just the one you have currently going on. Without content, on the other hand, you are forced to remain in the following state, which only gets worse with time, and will get worse with time at an accelerating rate. You are the same as everyone else, there is no differentiation, and you are essentially a commodity. Because you're commoditized, you're only able to charge low prices, which means you cannot afford better talent or systems, leading to poor fulfillment, bad word of mouth, which means you have to keep getting new clients due to low prices to even keep the bills paid and the business running. And you also suffer from high churn, which leads to you being stuck in a hamster wheel of hell. And when market demands change, you have to start from scratch all over again. You never get to where you want to get to, and your business dies in silence. Well, if content is a solution, well, I hear you say, what's the catch? How do you even go about implementing content that not only attracts eyeballs, but also sells, which is essentially a creator business? The catch is, it's hard. I did warn you at the very beginning, but done right, it can be a lot easier and faster. We'll get to that in a minute. So, how about the overview of building a creator business itself? Here's a 10,000 feet overview. You gain extreme clarity first on the exact segment of the market that your content will target. Then we have to pinpoint their exact levels of sophistication and awareness. This will determine the levels of depth that our content will span and ensure that we attract the very right eyeballs. Then we have to build a ranked list of objections, doubts, and problems in our niche that our target audience faces. And we have to lay these out in painstaking detail and lay out how exactly our offer solves each of these, based on past data from engaging with clients and engaging with the market. Also, we have to keep in mind that each piece of content that we make will have to address some or all of these, and the content will have to span across categories like process selling, video sales letters or VSLs, sentiment data rich case studies, not just case studies in a vacuum in isolation, no. You have to have intrinsic relatability, which is why the case studies need to be sentiment data rich. You have to have testimonials, technical breakdowns, lessons learned, and unique stories and experiences and live demos and build-outs. All of these content categories help in unison, in synergy, to pre-sell different kinds of prospects properly and nurture them at scale. And all of the technical information, very importantly, needs to be filtered through your unique story and your personal experiences to truly decommoditize yourself in the market and make yourself uniquely relatable. The last piece is absolutely key. You have to make content that only you can make in order to see outlier success in the creator game. And we have to divide our content into two main attention categories: attention capture and attention nurture. Attention capture is more top of funnel. These content heads capture new attention. They get people into our ecosystem leveraging content trends, which is why you have to remain on the fly, real time, on top of the latest trends and data, leveraging content trends to execute correctly. And then there's attention nurture, which is deeper into the funnel, showcasing your expertise, your unique story, your experiences, and getting into the nitty-gritty technical details. This is where you nurture your audience further. You train them, you educate them on you specifically and your offer and why that's different from everybody else. And you nurture them into your specific tonality, your personality. And this relies on the more qualified eyeballs from the ones that you capture top of funnel. This attention will then gradually funnel down to be paying clients if we build the back-end creator business funnel correctly. And a key component of a correctly run creator business is the prioritization of distribution across top of funnel attention capture platforms that are uniquely primed for two things: discovery and education. One ideal setup would be, for example, and there could be many setups, Instagram Reels that drive qualified attention, emphasis on qualified attention to YouTube long forms. And without the long form piece, the entire structure crumbles through engagement CTAs that also collect contacts in exchange for a lead magnet or a freebie or an audit. Again, this video is just meant to be a high-level overview where I'm not going into the nitty-gritty technical details of every single step. And then another valuable component, a vital piece of the creator business model when run correctly, is the systemization of ideation, content production, and data collection processes, because this is the only way to enforce consistency and ensure quality, which are the two input dials that need to be turned up to 110 if you want to see the results you want. Consistency and quality at scale on repeat. And this is impossible without the right systems, data, and accountability in place. Again, as mentioned, this is key to succeeding in the creator business. And once the content pieces start to get dialed in, all of your other acquisition channels get boosted returns. Paid ads, cold outreach, referral networks, everything experiences exponential growth in lead flow. Why is that? Well, it's because every cold pair of eyeballs that your ads or cold outreach hit, the first thing that they do is actually look you up. That's where content does the 80-20 arbitrage, the 80-20 heavy lifting, and makes or breaks your entire client acquisition mechanism. Content, and this is very important, content is the framing through which cold eyeballs view our offer. It dictates all downstream behavior patterns. And then, of course, we can't forget having to build up a back-end content infrastructure to actually nurture the prospects further in a systematic and tracked manner, warming them into a booked call to close. And the emphasis is on systematic and tracked, because you cannot improve that which you cannot track and measure. But even if I gave you the exact high-resolution details of every single step of the process of building up a creative business in this video, and this was just meant to be a high-level overview of one single segment of the entire process, even then it would not be enough. And your failure would be guaranteed, because the crucial missing pieces would be access to real-time data, systems, tracking, and accountability, along with one-on-one guidance from a dedicated team of experts that have delivered this transformation multiple times already and gotten results like this, and this, and this, and even more, and this. So you can choose to try and do this by yourself without access to any of the crucial pieces that I just mentioned that are vital. And you'll guarantee losing money, time, effort through multiple dragged out failures. Or you can save your time, which is the only thing you cannot buy more of. Save yourself all of the headache and invest in one-on-one proven expert guidance from a dedicated team that will compress the entire journey for you 10x, and you can enjoy the guaranteed results that blow up your revenue, dragging you to your scaling goals while cutting out all of the painful fail cases. If that sounds like a no-brainer choice, it's because it is. You can book a call to talk to our team and learn more about Creator OS. We help you start and scale your creator business with 50K in 90 days guaranteed. The link is in the description. Join the program. And as always, thank you for your attention. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.